Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pop Culture Spread, our fun weekly movie and streaming news show. Jace, let's talk big news. Let's start off with a bit of Marvel news, Jace. Paul Bettany's Vision is getting a reboot for the upcoming Disney Plus series with Picard showrunner. Wow, my God. Are we getting some Star Trek people coming over to the MCU? What is happening here, Jace?
There's some really interesting things about this story, Rick, and it's not just on the surface level. Yes, look, it's great that Paul Bettany is returning as Vision, and to be honest with you, this is where the Marvel series really need to be, is dealing with our main characters and their own spin-off stories, instead of doing these things like Echo and things like that, which is absolutely stick to your kind of main characters. I'm really interested to see where they go with this show. But there's another couple of key things about this that I thought was really interesting. Rick, this is the first series that has been approved by Bob Iger since his return. All the other shows in development were signed off before. And this is the first one that they've done under the new slash cost regime that they've got. So there must be a lot of faith in this story to be able to go, yes, out of all the content we could choose from to make a series, we're going to do Vision. I think it's the right choice. And then the showrunner, fantastic showrunner. Terry Matalas was responsible for the single greatest season of Star Trek in the modern era, with Star Trek Picard Season 3. An absolute phenomenal season that anybody could watch and love and enjoy. He was also the showrunner of the very popular 12 Monkeys series, which had some of the best time travel stories ever on television. So it's a great showrunner. So it's got me really excited because that guy knows how to do genre storytelling. Paul Bettany is back. There's a lot of mystery around what had happened to Vision at the end of WandaVision. So I think there's a lot of meat here. What do you think, Rick?
I think 100%. I really did think we were going to see another, second season of WandaVision. So there's definitely a lot more there to explore and see where it takes us. I don't know. I'm not a Picard fan. I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I'm not 100% sure how that side is going to go. But look, if Bob Iger has faith in it, like they are cutting back on every show and movie and what they want to put on the big screen and small screen, and they're putting this forward, so they must have something up their sleeve regarding this. So looking forward to it for sure.
Well, believe me, the showrunner's great, Rick. You'd be very.
If anyone would know, Jace, you would know.
Yeah.
All good, buddy.
That's very cool though, and its Vision, is one of the main characters. You got to remember, he's one of the Avengers, so it's good with these storylines.
Awesome. All right, mate. Let's. What's in other news, Jace? Well, speaking of Avengers, a new report suggests Avengers 5 could be heading into production sooner than expected. I mean, we are all over the shop with this movie, Jace. It's had its ups and downs. We obviously know with, Jonathan Majors and everything else that's going on. Is this a good news or is this bad for Marvel?
Well, look, if it's true, now this is a report. And by Disney Plus industry insider Daniel Richtman. So it's a report by somebody they believe is trustworthy with this source. Okay. If they are indeed filming in January, which is what they're stating, they must have their script done right. It also indicates they must have a solution for the Kang issue that they've currently got, which, as you rightfully said, Rick, is circulating this project and been tarnishing it so far. I believe that they do. They know exactly what they're doing at this point. And I also believe this report where it says that perhaps Kang isn't the only big bad villain in this Avengers 5, and he may be teaming up with someone else, which I could see them doing. So, yeah, this is kind of like the Avengers film that no one's super excited for, because everyone's excited for Secret Wars, right? That's what we all want to see. And so this seems to be the one before the one we really want to see. But if they're filming in January and the report's right, this is good news. It means they know what they're doing. Well, I'd like to think so anyway. Can't imagine Feige just going into this haphazardly.
No, especially with the whole restructure. But depending on what direction they're going to go, we don't know the name of the movie. Obviously, it's changed now. So, what direction they're going to go? Yeah. Do we get to see maybe a different way of, people that may have been in TV series and putting those characters into
well, as you are pointing out, also recent reports had suggested that one of the ways that they may approach this new Avengers film, and Avengers 5 may end up really being kind of like a young Avengers film.
Yeah.
With Kamala Khan and Kate Bishop being the main two, and with they're trying to make Miss Marvel be like the Nick Fury. She's going to be the one to recruit all the young Avengers. Look, I wouldn't be against that. If Avengers 5 is essentially the young Avengers, I think that's not a bad way to go at all, because it's something we wouldn't be expecting. And then it kind of everybody's back for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all, actually. They also said in this report that they're saying that Avengers is more grounded. Avengers 5 will be more grounded, meaning won't be the scale of Endgame, but what can be,
Well, I mean, that's, what did that gross highly, what was it, billions of dollars worldwide?
Well, it's just such a massive story. Infinity War and Endgame are galactic-sized storylines. And every Avengers film can't be at that stake. You have to bring the threat a little bit less somehow. That's the challenge that they've got, Rick, is how do they make these Avengers film still feel worthy and epic, without having to try to keep topping itself every time.
Yeah. I mean, they could introduce other characters. Maybe we might see. I mean, we might see Moon Knight. Who knows? We might see.
I think Secret Wars are going to get everyone.
Yeah. We'd love to see She-Hulk in it as well. Maybe just I don't know. It should see with Deadpool and Wolverine coming in and opening the door in that universe. We can do anything. So interesting to see.
Interesting, sure.
All right, Jason, let's get away from comics, mate. We'll get into our next story. Universal reverses May 2026 date for an untitled Steven Spielberg event film. Now, we have spoken briefly about
reserves. I would say not reverses.
Sorry, reserves. There you go. So we have spoken about this briefly. There was talks that he was doing a UFO movie, and
yes, that's what it is.
Is that what he's still doing?
Yes, this is what this story is all about. And it is exciting because if you look at the last 50 years of cinema, Steven Spielberg, when it comes to science fiction, I mean, he's godlike in that genre. If you look at the films that he has done that deal with science fiction, they're all great in their own way. And I'm obviously talking about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm talking about The Great E.T. I'm even talking about the 2005 War of the Worlds and 2002 Minority Report. This man knows how to do it. And I personally think it's about time before Spielberg gets too old.
Yep.
That we get one more big shake at the dice from him. And I'm really excited to hear that Spielberg's going to be making a big event film. Hey, look, his last one was Ready Player One.
Oh, amazing.
And I love that film.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great film. I enjoyed that. That was 2018, I believe. So to actually see him back doing his kind of the thing that kind of made him huge, nah, I'm in for it for sure.
Oh, I think everyone would be in for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's Spielberg.
Yeah.
What more can you say? You know?
Well, the thing is too, he's reuniting with his longtime collaborator again, David Koepp. Now, David Koepp's been around since Jurassic Park, helped write Jurassic Park with Spielberg, you know, and I think even Indiana Jones at some point as well, he was in there as well. So, look, the fact that it's that guy with Spielberg, you know, Yusuf was written by Jurassic Park's David Koepp. This means he's making a blockbuster event film for everybody to go and see. So
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm excited. This is in a world where we are just packed full of IP and recognizable franchises. The fact that the granddaddy of them all, the man who almost invented
The
blockbuster
OG.
Jaws, like he's coming back to give us something new. I'm in.
Oh, I think everyone will be in.
Yeah.
It'd be good just to see something original, like you said, on the big screen. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jace, let's get into another franchise. Let's get into another story, Jace. The next one is Wake Up Dead Man. The third Knives Out mystery gets its title. This is awesome. I love the last two murder mystery movies. What's your thoughts on this, Jace? Are you excited?
Well, Knives Out, I absolutely adored. I mean, Chris Evans steals that film. It's amazing. And then Glass Onion a couple of years ago was really great as well.
Batista in that. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. So, of course, I can't wait to see a third one. It's a modern day Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes type of thing. And I'm so happy Daniel Craig's found another character that he can another franchise. So no, I didn't even know this was getting made.
I didn't know either. No. Kind of
so to know that we've got another one coming out, and it's not that far away, I believe.
Does it say when?
As far as I was aware, I thought maybe it was the end of this year.
Wow. Okay.
So it might be as early as that.
It's not going to streaming.
It could be next year. But Benoit Blanc, bring him on, throw him into a different story. So it's like this is a franchise. I think it's just come out of nowhere, hasn't it?
Yeah, I like it, and I think they're going to do more and more. I think it's great to see these come out. Is this going to be on streaming
Netflix.
or are they going to Netflix?
Yeah, I think the whole deal is with Netflix now. With the second one, they kind of did themselves a bit of disservice. They gave it a limited cinematic run, and it really missed out potentials of making a lot of money. I do believe this time it'll be a bit more theatrical.
I think more and more people getting to know these type of movies and
excuse me,
enjoying them. So yeah, and they're for everyone. They're not just for
Oh, they're good old classic murder mysteries. Like I said, in the style of those old classic Agatha Christie stories. So it's really great. Good stuff.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. I think there's a trailer they've released on that as well, so you can check that out. So.
Yep, you definitely be able to check that out.
All right, guys. Before we get into the train wreck of the week, guys, I just want to remind you to hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos when they are uploaded. And also, guys, you can hear our audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and where all good podcasts are found. All right, Jace, let's get into some train wreck of the week. All right, Jace, who's on the train today, mate?
Oh boy, this story is going to be on this has got its own car on the train, and it's going to be on the train tracks for a long time, and that is obviously the tragedy around Rust. Now, what's been really interesting about this case so far, it's never looked really credible to me that Alec Baldwin would actually face any significant charges over this. Because he's the man who pulled the trigger, but as explained in detail in one of the defenses, well, there's a whole process. that happens, and it needs to be checked by so many people before it's even put in my hand.
Correct.
I need to trust that the armorer has loaded it correctly, which from that perspective, I
Makes
agree
sense.
with.
Yeah.
But he will now stand trial for the Russ shooting, as the New Mexico judge denies motion to dismiss the indictment. So they tried to end this whole thing. Nope. This is the real deal. He's getting his day in court. So it's going to be fascinating to see what kind of happens.
Why is it going back on him though? If the armor is the one, like you said, it goes through so many different people, safety checks, all sorts. Why is it going back onto him? He's just that.
Just remember, he wasn't just the actor; he was a producer.
Yeah, true.
That's, I think, where the angle is more about his production. It is ordered that defendant Alex Baldwin's motion to dismiss the indictment is hereby denied, said Judge Mary Marlowe Summer. The state versus Alexander Ray Baldwin trial is due to start in Santa Fe on July 9th and is expected to run about 2 weeks.
Wow.
The actor faces involuntary manslaughter charges and faces a possible 18 months in prison if found guilty.
Wow.
So even though he didn't load it, he still pulled the trigger. So it's involuntary manslaughter he's up against. It'll be up to his lawyers to prove the fact that he is not guilty of involuntary manslaughter. But this is the real deal. Could we potentially see Alec Baldwin, one of the biggest actors of our lifetime, Rick? I mean, he's not Marlon Brando or anything, but
no.
We've been watching Alec Baldwin movies for 40 to 50 years at this point. Could he actually end up in jail, dude?
That's fucking scary. It's close. Like,
pretty nuts, man. I mean, this is it. Like, to dismiss the case, he tried to do it, but no, it starts on July 9th. I'm sure this story is going to come up again on this show because
100%.
It's going to be massive when this court case starts now.
Wow.
So, it's such a. I mean, like we all know, Rick, and the answer we may never get is how in the hell did a live ammo get anywhere near that set?
There shouldn't be any live ammo on any set.
Why would there have ever needed to be any live ammo?
Correct.
There's not, right? There's not. So,
what's the motive behind it? Like, there's got to be something.
Something's going on.
How it all unfolds and how it happens. When this first came out, it was just like, wow, really? And we've seen this style before. These tragics happen in a lot of. It is. So hopefully he's got a good bunch of lawyers and he's paying them a lot of money because
there you go.
There you go. All right, Jace. Well, that about.
That wraps it up.
Anyway, that about wraps up the show for the week, Jace. We had some great stories there. Now we've got some exciting news. Obviously, next week we will not be on the show next week because
we are taking. That's the bad news. We're taking a week off.
Yeah. So, but you get to go away, so which is good.
I will be in New York City at the time, Rick. Yes.
Yeah. So by the time we do all that, guys, you can check us out. If you go to the channel, you can check us out here, myself and Jace on this channel. We got a whole heap of back catalogs and a whole heap of stuff there, so you check that out. You can also catch Jace in some other channels. Jace, where can they catch you?
Yeah, well, like as I alluded to, next week you'll be able to catch me not only on the Captain's Quadrant channel, you'll be able to catch me live at Trek Long Island Comic Con convention, where I'll be interviewing Star Trek actors like Ethan Phillips, who played Nick in Star Trek Voyager, not the good guy from the Mission Impossible.
Not Tom. No.
But that's going to be huge. We're going to be there. You can also find me in the Jason Roy Gaston channel. But most importantly, you can find me here every week on the Pop Culture Spread movie and streaming and news show.
Awesome, Jace. Well, we won't see you guys next week. We'll see you the week after. We'll see you then.
See you then, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you could do us a massive favor and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Oh. Also, come and check out us on all our social media accounts and keep up to date. And if you're looking for some clothing, you're needing some merch, we've got you covered at the Pop Culture Spread store.